Welcome, brave souls, to a place where shadows whisper and the unknown waits just beyond the light. Tonight, we dive deep into the darkest corners of fear. Stories that will haunt your mind long after you've turned off the screen. But before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you never miss a tale that lurks in the darkness. And don't forget to share with your friends, if they're brave enough to join you. Schools are often considered safe havens, places where students can learn, grow, and form friendships. But some schools hold secrets, dark, forgotten corners where the past refuses to stay buried. This story takes place in one such school, an ordinary high school in an ordinary town, until one day, a group of curious students stumbled upon something that should have remained hidden. What started as whispers about a locked basement turned into a mystery too tempting to resist. It was just another Friday afternoon at Riverside High. The bell rang, signaling the end of the last class of the day. The hallways filled with students eager to head home or meet up with friends. But as the chatter rose and lockers slammed shut, a few students remained behind, whispering about an old rumor that had resurfaced recently. The rumor was about the basement. Locked for years, it was a part of the school most students had never even seen. Some claimed it was sealed after an accident decades ago. Others believed something much darker had happened down there. Among those whispering was Alex, a junior who was always intrigued by mysteries. He had overheard snippets of conversation in the cafeteria that week, stories of strange noises coming from below, teachers who would abruptly change the topic when the basement was mentioned, and an old dusty door hidden behind the storage room in the west wing. Curiosity gnawed at Alex. He had always been drawn to the unknown, and the idea of a locked basement filled with secrets was too much to ignore. After school, Alex met up with his friends, Maya, a practical thinker who was hesitant about anything risky, and Jordan, the more adventurous one of the group. They had heard the same rumors, and while Maya wasn't convinced, even she couldn't deny the excitement in uncovering something the school had tried to bury. "Do you really think there's anything down there?" Maya asked, her arms crossed as the three of them stood near the school's old library after everyone had gone home. "There's only one way to find out," Jordan replied with a grin. "Besides, don't you want to know why it's locked? What if there's something they don't want us to see?" Alex glanced at the hallway leading to the west wing. It was quiet now, the late afternoon sun casting long shadows across the floors. Something about the idea felt wrong, but that only made him more curious. What could be so dangerous or important that the school would go to such lengths to keep it hidden? "All right," Alex said, his voice low but determined. "Let's check it out. We can sneak in after everyone's gone. Worst case, we find an empty basement. Best case, we uncover a piece of history no one else knows about." Maya sighed, knowing she wouldn't win this argument, and Jordan was already nodding enthusiastically. They made a plan to meet later that evening when the school was empty. Alex, as usual, had thought things through. He'd seen the janitors leave by 6, and by then, the building would be completely silent. As the sun set and the hallways darkened, Alex, Maya, and Jordan crept back into the school, armed with nothing but a flashlight and a copy of the old school blueprint Alex had found in the library. They made their way to the west wing. It was eerily quiet. The usual hum of students and teachers was gone, replaced by the faint creaks and groans of the old building. They soon arrived at the storage room, the air growing colder as they approached. Behind a stack of old desks and boxes, they found it. The locked door. Dust covered its surface, and the rusty padlock looked ancient, untouched, for years. "This is it," Alex whispered, his excitement tempered with a growing sense of unease. "The basement." Jordan pulled a small crowbar from his backpack, clearly prepared for this moment. After a few tense minutes of struggling with the lock, there was a loud click. The padlock fell to the floor with a dull thud. For a moment, none of them moved. "Are we really doing this?" Maya asked, her voice barely audible. Alex nodded. "We've come this far." With that, Jordan pushed the door open, revealing a set of steep, stone stairs descending into darkness. A musty, damp smell rose to greet them, and the air felt heavier, as if the basement hadn't been disturbed in decades. Alex clicked on his flashlight and led the way down, the beam cutting through the pitch black. They took their first steps into the unknown, not realizing that the whispers of the basement were only the beginning. The group's curiosity has brought them to the edge of a mystery buried deep within the school's history. What lies in the darkness of the basement? What secrets has the school kept hidden for so long? As Alex and his friends descend further, they may uncover more than they bargained for. After discovering the hidden basement door behind an old storage room, Alex and his friends have unlocked what was thought to be sealed away forever. With their curiosity overpowering their fear, they now stand on the threshold of something dark and mysterious. The journey they're about to embark on will uncover long-buried secrets that should have remained hidden. The door creaked open, revealing a narrow stone staircase that seemed to disappear into darkness. The air was different down here, thick, damp, and carrying a faint metallic smell. Alex hesitated at the top of the steps, shining his flashlight down into the abyss. "You sure about this?" Maya asked, her voice trembling just a bit. Jordan, always the boldest, grinned. "We didn't come this far to back out now." He gestured for Alex to lead the way. With his heart pounding, Alex stepped forward, taking the first cautious step into the unknown. The stone stairs were old, covered in dust and grime, and each footstep echoed eerily. The walls, cold and damp to the touch, were lined with what appeared to be rusted pipes. As they descended, the light from the school above dimmed, leaving only the flashlight beam to guide them. They reached the bottom. A long, empty corridor stretched out before them. The flashlight beam revealed cracked tiles, peeling paint, and the unmistakable signs of neglect. Time had forgotten this place. "Look at this," Jordan whispered, pointing to the wall. Scribbled in faded, almost illegible writing were the words, "Keep out." Maya swallowed hard. "What do you think happened down here?" Alex didn't answer. His mind raced with possibilities. An accident? Some kind of abandoned project? The eerie silence was deafening, only interrupted by the occasional drip of water from the ceiling. They continued down the corridor, their footsteps soft but tense. The deeper they went, the more unsettling the atmosphere became. The air was growing colder, and a strange tension seemed to hang over them like a dark cloud. It was as if the walls themselves were holding their breath, waiting for something. At the end of the corridor, they found a door slightly ajar. The old wooden door creaked as Jordan pushed it open. The room inside was small, cluttered with old, dusty furniture and stacks of yellowing papers. A single broken light fixture dangled from the ceiling, casting long shadows as their flashlight swept the room. Alex knelt down beside a stack of papers. They were records, decades old, from the 1970s. He squinted at the faded ink, realizing what they were. "These are student records," he said, his voice barely a whisper. "But these names, I've never heard of any of them." Maya leaned over his shoulder, scanning the documents. "It's like these students were never enrolled here. They don't even exist in the school's archives. Jordan, meanwhile, had found an old map on the wall, showing a layout of the basement. His flashlight traced the lines. "There's more to this place, look," he said, pointing to what appeared to be another section further down. "This isn't the end." A sense of dread washed over Alex. The school had gone to great lengths to hide this basement, and now they were standing in the middle of something far more twisted than a simple, locked door. These were students, people. Who had they been? And why had the school erased them? Just as they were about to continue, a loud thud echoed from the hallway behind them. They all froze. "What was that?" Maya whispered, her eyes wide. Alex turned his flashlight toward the door, the beam shaking slightly in his hands. "I don't know," he murmured, "but we're not alone." The group has now uncovered the first clues of what the basement hides. Forgotten students and old records that point to a dark past. But now, something or someone lurks in the shadows, watching their every move. As they venture further into the basement, the real nightmare is only beginning. As Alex and his friends delve deeper into the basement's secrets, they uncover unsettling evidence of a past long buried. What they initially thought was just a harmless adventure has taken a chilling turn. With an unknown presence lurking nearby, the tension escalates, and the horrifying truth of what happened in this hidden part of the school begins to unfold. The thud echoed through the basement, sending chills down Alex's spine. He exchanged anxious glances with Maya and Jordan. The atmosphere was thick with tension. Every shadow seemed to pulse with the possibility of something lurking just out of sight. "Should we check it out?" Jordan suggested, his voice barely above a whisper. "No way," Maya replied, her voice trembling. "We should go back." But Alex felt a pull toward the door. "We can't just leave. We need to know what's going on," he insisted, taking a cautious step towards the doorway. As he approached, he could hear something, a low, muffled sound, like someone whispering just beyond the threshold. It was unsettling. He shone the flashlight into the dark hallway, but the light barely penetrated the gloom. "Hello?" he called, his voice echoing off the walls. "Is anyone there?" Silence answered, but the whispering continued, faint but persistent, like a haunting melody tugging at the edges of his mind. It was coming from the direction of the noise. Against Maya's protests, Alex took a deep breath and stepped into the hallway, followed closely by Jordan and Maya. They moved cautiously, their flashlights illuminating the crumbling walls. Each step felt heavier, the weight of the unknown pressing down on them. The whispers grew louder, though still indistinct. They followed the sound, their hearts pounding in unison. As they turned a corner, they stumbled upon an old classroom, the door ajar and slightly creaking as if inviting them in. "Maybe we should just leave," Maya said, her voice shaking. But Alex was already pushing the door open, unable to resist the pull of whatever mystery lay within. Inside, the classroom looked frozen in time. Dusty desks were arranged in neat rows, and the chalkboard was still covered in faded writing. But it was what lay scattered across the floor that made Alex's blood run cold. Old, crumpled photographs of students, their faces obscured by shadows. But one stood out. Alex picked up a photo that showed a group of students laughing, their faces filled with life. But as he turned it over, his stomach dropped. Written on the back in shaky handwriting were the words, "We're still here. Help us." "What the hell is this?" Jordan asked, peering over Alex's shoulder. Maya gasped, backing away from the pictures. "We need to go. This isn't right." But Alex couldn't tear his gaze away. These kids, they looked like they were having fun. What happened to them? As they examined the room, they discovered old textbooks filled with erratic notes, names of students listed like a roll call, and bizarre symbols scribbled in the margins. The room felt alive with memories, whispers echoing in their ears, begging for attention. Suddenly, another loud crash reverberated through the corridor, shaking the walls. The whispers ceased, replaced by a deafening silence. Fear coursed through Alex as he glanced at his friends. "We should leave now," Maya urged, her eyes wide with panic. But before they could make a move, a shadow passed across the doorway, blocking their exit. The air turned cold, and a figure emerged from the darkness, a gaunt silhouette of a man dressed in old janitor's attire, his face obscured by a faded cap. "Who are you?" Jordan shouted, stepping protectively in front of Maya and Alex. The figure remained silent, just standing there, the air thick with dread. Alex felt his heart race as he noticed something in the man's hands. A worn-out notebook, pages filled with frantic writing and sketches. "What do you want?" Alex asked, trying to sound braver than he felt. The man's lips moved, but no sound came out. Instead, he pointed toward the wall behind them, where a large, dusty map was tacked up, featuring the entire layout of the school, with one section labeled ominously, "The Lost Children." What does that mean?" Maya asked, her voice trembling. The man suddenly lunged forward, dropping the notebook at their feet, before disappearing back into the darkness. Alex, trembling, picked up the notebook. The pages were filled with notes about students who had vanished, bizarre experiments conducted in the basement, and warnings about the others who still roamed the halls. "This is insane," Jordan said, glancing back at the door, which now felt like a prison. "We have to get out of here." But Alex couldn't look away from the words. Each page felt like a piece of the puzzle, leading him to the terrible truth about what had happened in this school. A chill ran down his spine as he realized they had uncovered something much darker than he had ever imagined. With the encounter with the mysterious figure and the chilling discoveries in the classroom, the group is now caught in a web of terror and secrets. They stand on the precipice of understanding the truth behind the school's dark history. But they must confront the dangers that come with it. What will they choose to do next? Will they escape, or will they become part of the basement's haunting legacy? With the encounter with the mysterious figure and the chilling discoveries in the classroom, the group is now caught in a web of terror and secrets. They stand on the precipice of understanding the truth behind the school's dark history. But they must confront the dangers that come with it. What will they choose to do next? Will they escape, or will they become part of the basement's haunting legacy? As the chilling revelations about the school's dark past continue to unfold, Alex and his friends find themselves in a perilous situation. With their newfound knowledge weighing heavily on them, they must confront the terrifying presence that has emerged from the shadows. Their decision to explore the basement now carries grave consequences, and the escape from its haunted depths may come at a price. Panic surged through Alex as he stared at the abandoned classroom, clutching the worn notebook filled with disturbing revelations. The mysterious figure's sudden appearance left them reeling, and now the air felt charged with danger. "Guys, we have to get out of here," Jordan urged, glancing toward the door, which loomed like a dark portal. "I can't just leave this," Alex insisted, pointing at the notebook. "This is proof of everything that happened here. We have to tell someone." But before they could argue further, the whispers returned, this time louder, more insistent. The shadows around them seemed to shift, as if the very walls were closing in. They could feel an overwhelming presence, pressing against them, urging them to leave. "Alex, now!" Maya shouted, her voice breaking as she grabbed his arm. "We can't stay." Reluctantly, he shoved the notebook into his backpack, knowing they couldn't linger any longer. The three of them rushed toward the doorway, hearts racing, the whispers rising to a frantic crescendo. They had to escape before whatever had haunted this basement caught up to them. As they turned to flee, the figure reappeared, blocking their exit once more. This time the air grew colder, and the whispers escalated into a chaotic chorus, echoing their fears and regrets. Alex felt a chill grip his heart. It was as if the spirit of the basement was alive, demanding to be heard. "Let us go," Jordan shouted, stepping forward defiantly. But the figure merely stared at them, his expression unreadable. With a sudden burst of courage, Alex pushed past the apparition, darting into the hallway. "Come on!" he yelled, his voice slicing through the darkness. Maya and Jordan followed closely behind, adrenaline fueling their escape. They sprinted down the corridor, their footsteps echoing like thunder in the silence. The basement seemed to twist and turn, disorienting them as they frantically searched for the way back. The whispers followed, haunting their every step, urging them to remember the lost souls trapped in this place. Just as they rounded a corner, they stumbled upon another door, a heavy steel door that looked like it hadn't been opened in years. Alex yanked on the handle, and to their surprise, it swung open, revealing a narrow staircase leading up to the surface. "Quick!" Maya urged, racing up the steps ahead of the others. Alex and Jordan followed closely, fear driving them onward. They burst through the door at the top, emerging into the cool night air outside the school. The stars twinkled above, a stark contrast to the darkness they had just escaped. Gasping for breath, they turned to look back at the school, its silhouette looming ominously against the sky. "What just happened?" Maya asked, her voice trembling. "What was that down there?" "I don't know," Alex admitted, still feeling the weight of the notebook in his backpack. "But we need to tell someone. The school has been hiding this for too long." But as they made their way home, the atmosphere shifted. Each shadow seemed to flicker with memories of the past, each whisper echoing in their minds. They were forever changed by what they had discovered, haunted by the faces of the students who had vanished without a trace. Days turned into weeks, and Alex couldn't shake the feeling of dread. He took the notebook to the principal's office, determined to share the truth. But when he arrived, the principal was evasive, brushing off his concerns with vague reassurances and promises to look into it. Frustrated and disheartened, Alex tried to rally Maya and Jordan to take further action, but the fear lingered, clouding their resolve. They had uncovered something too deep, too dark, and the whispers seemed to follow them everywhere. In the quiet moments, Alex still heard those lost voices. Echoes of laughter turned to cries for help. No matter how far they tried to run, the past was woven into the fabric of their school. The basement was locked, but the memories were unlocked, and they would never truly escape what had happened. As the story concludes, Alex and his friends are left with the haunting knowledge of the school's dark past. They have escaped the physical dangers of the basement, but the emotional and psychological scars remain. What once was a place of learning has become a reminder of the shadows that linger and the lost children who may never find peace. Their journey is a chilling reminder that some secrets are better left buried, yet their existence can never be forgotten. Thank you for joining me on this chilling journey through the locked basement. I hope you enjoyed uncovering the dark secrets hidden within the walls of Riverside High. Your support means the world to me, and I can't wait to bring you more thrilling stories in the future. If you liked what you heard today, please click that like button and subscribe for more spine-tingling tales, and share this video with your friends. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the mysteries around you.